Check, check, 1, 2. It's the Y2K Collector, and it is a good thing that I've been selling video games because I'm definitely going to need the space. I've been able to sell a nice little chunk of games out of the collection, but today, actually this weekend, man, I've just been running into some decent stuff. And I always have a way of reverse jinxing myself. Every time I say that it's dry, all of a sudden I run into a bunch of stuff. Well, let's talk about it. Ran into a interesting mix of games today, and I'm going to take you through all of them, and then we'll do a little recap at the end. The first game is this copy of Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku 2. This copy, though, is a little janky. I'm a little weary about it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to crack this one open just to make sure that it's legit. But this was a part of the pickup today. And mind you, all of these were found pretty much at a local GameStop. The next pickup here is the Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku Part 1. So that was another pickup that we got there, both for the Game Boy Advance. Sonic Adventure 2 on the Game Boy Advance, another really clean pickup. This was pretty nice to see. This was one that I actually had in my collection a long time ago, sold it, so glad to get this one back. They also had Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which I'm pretty sure for me is going to be a double. I want to say that I already have a copy of this game. I don't think this one is a condition upgrade, but I'm not sure. But this is one that I might already have, but they did have this one there as well. So that was another Game Boy Advance pickup. And then here goes another one that I sold out of my collection a while ago, but good to have back, and that is Battletoads. Now, this copy of Battletoads is in like brand new condition, and it's funny, every time I run into Battletoads, for the most part, they're always really clean. So this is a really clean copy of Battletoads for the original Game Boy. I still collect for the original Game Boy when I run into decent Game Boy games. So this was one that I was pretty stoked to find out in the wild there. So Battletoads, a nice little beat 'em up. So a really good collection of just some handheld games that I thought was pretty nice, pretty solid to find. Then we had some Xbox games here. So the first one that we ran into was Ninja Blade. Now, I feel like again, this is another one that I'm pretty sure I already have a copy of. I'm not too sure. I was just moving really fast, and I kind of just wanted to get in and get out. And anything that I saw that looked remotely decent, I was just kind of grabbing, and I was just like, I'll sort it out later. But they did have this copy of Ninja Blade. It is complete. Ninja Blade is a really decent game on the 360. Don't sleep. But I think I already have this game for whatever reason. I feel like I do. But that one was another pickup. And then also on the original Xbox, they had Conker's Live and Reloaded for the original Xbox. Again, complete in box. This was one that I had actually had my eye on for quite some time. This was one that I was really interested in picking up over the holidays. So like around Thanksgiving, Christmas. This was one that I was tempted to buy when I went into a local retro game store. But I'm glad I kind of waited. This is not the price that was paid. I definitely used some points towards this whole purchase, but all in all, still a good find to find it complete in box. The disc and the manual are in pretty good shape. And then we have these last two games, which just really, really blew me away, and was really stoked to find. And mostly all of these, outside of the ones that are doubles, are going to be going straight into the collection. These will definitely be added to the roster. So the first is this copy here of Parasite Eve for the PlayStation. So I was just kind of blown away to see that they had this copy there at the store. The only unfortunate part is that it is missing the manual, but I still picked this one up because I do not have Parasite Eve in my collection. I had heard about Parasite Eve for a really long time. A lot of people have recommended this game, and they had it there. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and snag this one up and add it to the collection. It was priced pretty well. For the most part, all of these games were either priced at market or under market, but most of them were under market by an average of, I want to say 25 to 30%. So for me as a collector, if I can pick up retro games 25 to 30% off their market price, then that's a good deal for me. I'm not a reseller, so I don't need 50% off or 60% off or you know, I don't need to get games at 40% of their market. A decent discount for me is all I need to add it to the collection, especially if it's a good game. And this is one that I was pretty stoked to see out in the wild. So this one got added for sure. And then last but not least, the probably one of the most expensive games that I found in quite some time at a GameStop, and it is another PlayStation 1 game, and that is Tales of Destiny 2. Now, there's a lot of interesting things about this game. For first of all, just this pickup in and of itself was super interesting. The storytelling on the cover of this game is amazing. Clearly, this was an EB Games this was at an EB Games store at one point. It went through its various phases of being marked down and discounted. So you see the different prices and new low price here. This looks like it was definitely at a EB Games. This might have been an EB Games like sticker. This might have been just some aftermarket sticker at another store that it was probably traded to. But just whenever I see like things like this, they're super nostalgic, and I almost don't even want to get rid of the EB Games sticker. I might get rid of this little green low price one, but the EB Games might actually stay on there because in this case, I feel like it just kind of adds some character to the game. It could just be me, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. The other cool thing about this is that this was complete with the manual. So if I had to choose between Tales of Destiny 2 being complete and Parasite Eve being complete, I'm very glad that Tales of Destiny 2 did come with its manual, and it has all of the discs. Actually played some of this. This is a very interesting RPG because it's not like your traditional turn-based RPG. Once you run into an enemy and you start to battle them, you can actually attack at will. So it's almost like it's an RPG, but it's more action. It has some action elements to it as well. So I do kind of like the combat in this one from the little bit that I played of it, but the discs are in pretty good shape. The overall case does have some cracks on the back, but I'm not really too worried about that because I'm pretty much a G when it comes to case swaps. So if I have to do a case swap, that's fine. I'll figure that out. But overall, I'll probably keep it in this case with the cracks and all, just because of the character. Remember, we got the the EB sticker on it. And just all that character there was pretty cool. I gotta say, April is shaping up to be a better month than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a really slow month for me, but whenever I run into, you know, these GameStop deals, it's pretty sick. I haven't been able to kind of negotiate any trades so far this month. I just haven't found anyone who's had anything that I want in particular. But I have had success with GameStop, just finding some of these games at, like I said, on an average of 35% off, which again, for me is a really good deal as a collector. But let me know what you guys think about some of these random finds at a GameStop with Parasite Eve and Tales of Destiny 2. I thought these are really, really crazy, and hopefully we can continue to find some decent deals. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.